today is about the basic blockchain. I will not talk in depth that, but I will talk in the practice that you will understand from the real world case. And yes, I think we start with first one. So I want to start with the real block that is happen in the BTC chain or the Bitcoin. Okay, let me open it for you guys for this one. So this one is a confirmed block that the one block is contain the transaction, the real transaction in the BTC. Okay, so we know that the blockchain is something like a block and is connected. We will understand together. But right now we want to see the real block that already mint, already created. So we want to know that what is inside of one block. And after you know this is a real block, so you will understand immediately, oh, that is the blockchain. This is why it's immutable. It cannot change for the data. Okay, so the first one is a hash. The hash is the same as the ID, that the identity of the ID of that block is the outcome of the miners. When we heard about we do the miners, we do the mining. The miner try to do the mining and try to find the numbers. And once they have the numbers, they have the results. There are two results that the miner gives to this block. First, the hash, this one, and I will come back with this number of the zeros, maybe the 19 zeros in the beginning. This one is something that the human made, right? So you see this hash is the random, okay, and with some condition with the zeros in the front, you can see this one. And another outcome from the miners that when they get the reward is these numbers. Now it's come from this one, NOUCE nows crypto. NOUNCE now mean Bitcoin. Number only used once. Yep, it stands for number only used once. This one. So this one is a hash. Is something that the miner will find these numbers. That is the identity of that block. Every block have the different hash. Okay, and with hash they found the nonce as well, that how to produce the hash. I will explain how they produce the hash by the nonce, these numbers. Okay, this one is every block have it. The second one we need to do, we need to see is a timestamp when the block is created. Okay, the height is mean that when the block is connected one by one. So we can see that how much of the depth of the height from the chain. So this one is the 700,000. Okay, and miners unknowns. So who found that the nonce and create a hash. Okay, that is the unknown for the miners. Okay, and number of transaction is that how many transactions in one block. Okay, because for the blockchain they have a limited size per each block, so they have the size for around I think 937,000 bytes. Okay, so and we can see the last one is the difficulty. Difficulty is mean that how difficulty of this block that they found. Okay. I forgot how to calculate this one, but it's related with the hash, with the zero in front of the hash. I will explain in the next slide. Okay. Next, we need to take a look on the transaction volume. We know the transaction, how much of the transaction for this block is around 1,000, and the volume of transaction is around 27,000 BTC. Okay, and block reward, this one is the miner got a reward from when they found the nonce and they can create a hash for this block. Okay, free reward is come from the transaction. The transaction, when the people have a transaction, they have to pay for the gas fee. So they also pay this one to the miner as well. Okay. So, and you can see on the below, there is a public address, and you can see for the public address how they can transfer for the spend and unspent for the BTC. Okay, this is the information for one block. Okay, I want you to understand that this is all of the information done. Okay, next, I talk about the hash, that how the miners give the hash or give the identity of that block. Okay, we want to learn that what is the hash, what is the hash? Hashes come from the cryptography. Cryptography is come from in the past that they have the wars and they want to decrypt for the message. They don't want that message transfer to the enemies. So sometimes, for example, maybe I give to the Fabian ABCDs and I tell Fabian, hey, can we have the secret that we will change the location of the alphabet backward 3 times. Maybe I give to the Fabian ABCD. Actually, it's the XYZ, something like this. This is a sample of cryptography, and this one is hash is a computing cryptography as well. That they will generate random letters from the information. Okay. For example, I opened this example for this two. Copy and paste. For example, if I want to hash all of the information, let me do something stupid that I just copy and paste for the hash for the input, and for this one is the output. Okay, it will encrypt for the data that we have, and it will change to the letters that fixed for the 256 byte bit. Okay, so you can see this fixed letters. What is interesting for this hash that it's not random actually. Once you paste something the same thing, it will return the same thing. If you change something information in the input, anything here, the hash will change. But if you put something back in the same, the hash is gonna be the same. So the hash is something that you can predict actually. So it will change from the letters, from the character or the string that or the data that we have, and change to the small letters. Okay, something like this. So the cryptography for the block, the one block that we can see, okay, that the first thing that one block have is that the previous block hash. The second thing is the transactions. The third thing is the timestamp, nonce, and the block hash itself. Okay, after that they will hash and they will create the hash for the block itself. Okay, so I want to say something that you can see this one. You can see the information for the block that they have the 00 for in zero. How many zero for this one? Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, they have the 21 zeros here. So the miners, how it become to this hash is mean that when we copy for the all of information for this block to the input, something like this, right? When we copy, so the miners, they will have something that called nulls. That what I tell you is that number only used once. Okay, these numbers. What is this come for? This come for is that the miners, they will try to change the hash to the zero with the same pattern with this one, because in the BTC on the programming on the open source, they have the condition that if you found the zero with the 21 zeros or 20 zero, I think it should be 20 zeros, you found the hash that we want. So it's same as a game. Okay, so the miner will try to guess for the hash. They will run the numbers from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, something like this, until they found a hash that have the pattern that the node want. Okay. Right now you understand, right? Anyone have the question? That we try to, this one is a hash that the block that the miner found. It come from the nulls. It come from the numbers that they try to change. They will try to change from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, until they found a hash that the match the condition that the node BTC want. This is how the miners, they need a GPU to run very fast. That hey, I want to get a reward to that block. I want to confirm on that block. I want to create a bad block. So I have to find a hash. Okay. So this is about hash things. Okay. So we come back to this one. As I said that they will keep the information for the previous block hash as well, and transaction, timestamp, and nulls, and create the block hash itself. Okay. So we become to blockchain link, how it link together. Okay. So the blockchain, how they link, the first block, they don't have for the previous block hash, so they don't have. And after that, they just collected for the transaction, timestamp, and nulls. Okay, and they create with this block hash that they have. For example, I have the condition, it's not the 20 zeros. I make the just zero, only 5 zeros here. Okay. And after that, after I create the block zeros, I have, when we want to create the second block, I will contain 4 things: previous block hash, transaction, timestamp, and nulls. And after that, miners try to create the hash that match the condition that I want. That means the zero with the first zero for the 5 digit. Okay. After I found, I create this block. And after that, the next block doing the same thing. That means in every block, it will contain for the previous block hash. So it's linked together. Okay. I want to open for this one for you guys. This one called the Genesis block, or the first block in the chain. Okay. It's called Genesis block. So let me open. Okay, this one block 0. So this one is a legend for the block for the BTC that someone at the unknown for the miners. They create a block on the 2009. Okay, and the difficulty is 1 because they don't have anything here. They just found and they just mint by themselves, and they got the block reward 50 BTC. Okay, so you might create, hey, why the block 0 is 50 BTC? And we can see that right now nowadays that the block reward reduced to 6.25 BTC, because in the beginning no one interested to mining for the BTC, so they will give the reward that try to convince people to mining. So and they don't have for the inflation in the BTC coin. So it means that for the time past, they will reduce from by half. Okay, I'm not sure how what is the duration that they trigger that reduce by half. So it will reduce from 50 to 25 BTC, and after that they will reduce to the 12, 6.25, and by half until it's already mint out of the BTC coin. Okay. So we come back. This one, I want you guys to play with this example. This example is really good. This is a demo that is really easy to explain what is happened in the block. Okay. So as I said that the hash has the condition that the node for the BTC node want. Okay. So this case, this is a simulation that they set up for the only 4 digits of the zeros in front of hash. Okay. In the real case, so we need to copy for the information for this block hash. Maybe we need for the timestamp. Maybe we need for the data for timestamp. Maybe we need for the transaction. Okay, let me copy for transaction. Just do stupid copies. Okay, something like this. Okay, so it means that this one is the block that no one minted, no one created yet. So we have to find the numbers or nouns, these numbers, okay, that match with the hash with the 4 zeros in the front of the hash. Okay, if you are the human, you can try by yourself. You can try to change the nouns by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or something. And if you found the 0 in front of the hash, so it means that it's met condition that you can create that block. Okay, but for this case, we just click this button. It will automatically find the hash for us. Okay, let me click for the mining and wait for the second, I think. Good. So we found the condition that the nouns that come from the 78979. Okay, and we have the hash that we want 000. Okay, this one is how we create for the one hash one block. Okay, that when miners found, hey, we found we can get a reward from the chain because we found for the nouns and we create the hash for them. Okay, and next, this one is an example for the simulation for the chain. Okay, again, if I copy for the transaction and have timestamp, I mining, and because of the first chain, as I said that the first chain always don't have for the previous block hash. That means when we click mining, it's no data for the previous hash. Okay, this is the first chain. We click mining and we try to find for the nouns numbers. Good. So we found the first one. Okay, and next one, if we have for the next one, let me copy 2 times. I think, for example, we have transaction. Okay, and after that we want to mining. Okay, we found the nouns, and you can see that they also mine for the previous hat as well. Okay, let me do the third one, and I click mining. Oh, my computer have the fan running louded right now. I do the mining. Okay, good. So right now we have the three blocks of the transaction. Okay, and we already create three blocks and we have the hash and nulls. Okay, what happens if someone try to change if one node, because the blockchain they use the technology called the P2P, same as the BitTorrent. So it means that they have a node around the world. Okay, every computer can be the node, and every computer have the same data. Okay, so if someone want to change, hey, I want to change that, I want to change from my address, instead of the send 50 BTC to me, maybe I change to 500 BTC. And what happened after I change for 500 BTC? So the hash for this block is changed. After the hash of this blockchain is impact for the another block, for the third block, because it's used previous block hash. Okay, so it means that in real life, when they have for the in real life, you can see that they have around for 700,000 height in the chain. If someone want to change something, they have to hash everything from the what they change in the hash. Okay, and if someone say, hey, why we not just hash in the very beginning, and we change some information, and hey, we can do that as well. So there is another rules that they will pick the longest chain in the longest chain in the chain itself. It means that if you have the power computer, it's not that powerful. So someone already found the hash and they build a longer chain. So every node will pick that longer chain as the consensus. That is the true chain. Okay, but if they have the quantum computing, and they can do mining very fast, they can do the hashing very fast, maybe it can be cheated with the chain as well. Maybe they try to change some information, maybe just two blocks earlier, and they try to rehashing everything with a second. It can be possible as well. Again, that's why some people use the quantum and have the excuse that, hey, maybe the quantum can create the risk for the blockchain. Okay. Okay, this is how the blockchain link. So anyone have the question for the blockchain? This is very basic of the blockchain, and this one is called the proof of work. This is just only the fundamental that we didn't talk about another consensus. Right now, the consensus that we talk is the proof of work. That means we use the mining. We try to mine for the hashing, and we try to file for the nulls, and that create a hash match condition. And after the match condition, it means it can create for the chain because they use for the previous hash. Okay. If no one have the question, we can go to another slide. Okay. I heard many have some chat. Okay. Okay. There is something that called, how to say, I listen many people say that, hey, Bitcoin is very good asset that is, how to say, it can trust. I think it's really good asset, same as the gold, and it can be uncheated. It's how to say, it cannot be broke easily. Okay, so I try to find them. I really curious that, hey, many people talk about quantum computing. Many people talk about 51% attack, and there is a risk for the BTC or the proof of work. I found one the interesting side about the BTC, about for the blockchain, for the proof of work. After we just learn how the blockchain is working in the proof of work. Okay, that is really smart. The person that create for this hash and link everything with the hash with the condition is really, they are very smart. And but the way that Satoshi Nakamoto created for this mechanism for the BTC, there is the weakness as well. Okay, by itself. I want to talk about this one first. Is about the Bitcoin energy consumption. Okay, as you know, I think everyone know that the Bitcoin or BTC or Ethereum use a lot of energy consumption. Okay, I think that is something that the China concern or many countries concerned, and how much that they consume. For example, for US, they consume for around 5 million US household. Or if you cannot imagine about 5 million household, is that it's about one country for the New Zealand. They use the whole electricity for the one country. Okay, and it can be more and more because the difficulties in the block is gonna be more difficult. Okay, because once they have more miner powers, once they have more better for the hardware for the GPUs, the algorithm, it will increase for the difficulties when you want to find for the hash. For example, you can see for the block zeros, you can count for the zero in the block zero is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, just 10 zeros. Okay. And right now you can see that they increase to 20 zeros numbers here. Okay. So it means that this increase for difficulties. And if you want to mining, you need to use more powers because the BTC have more values. Okay. So this one is energy consumption. I just let you have in your mind that, hey, proof of work use a lot of consumption. And if you cannot imagine that how you can build for the miners for the mining farm, okay, you have spent a lot of money actually. You have to build for infrastructure for that. It's not that easy. Okay. And because of they use a lot of the powers, a lot of the hardware and the energy, everything. There is something that everyone knows is the economy of the scale. 1 kilowatt for the independent gamers or the normal users may be equal for the $1. But for them, for the miner farm, they can negotiation for the electricity. They have the better efficiency for the heat transfers. They can buy the bulk for the graphic card, and they got the cheaper price. So it means that they have the advantage for the economy of the scale. Okay. And this is a fun fact that right now, this is the ratio for the miners. BTC.com 27% and pool 80.7%, Thrash pool 13.1%, BTC.top 9%. And you can see it's not that many players that create for the mining farm. Okay, and come to the fundamentals. If you want to get the reward for the block rewards, only one person that gonna win. It's not everyone win. And hey, I also get the coins. I also get the BTC. I also have the ETH because they open for the channel that let you join them to increase the powers. Okay, so it means that they just separate for the reward to use. Okay, but actually the power is become to the miners or for the mining farm. Okay, and this is something that we want to discuss, that if in the future, maybe next 30 years, maybe the block rewards is less. Maybe difficulty is too much difficulty. Maybe the mining farm, they consumption a lot of electricity. Maybe they cannot win. Maybe they cannot get a reward. Maybe the miners company want to exit. They want to sell their own product because everyone wants to get profit, right? And you can see the ratio for the miners right now. It might be possible, okay, that the people for the miners for the farm can combine it together. Okay, once they combine, what is going to be happen? It's happen is that in the past we can trust for the blockchain for the proof of work because we sharing the powers. We try to have the different node. That means the data is decentralized data. Okay, but right now, if this scenario happen, that miner farm is combined together in some ways. Okay, that means they have ability to prove or they have ability to create for the block in the chain. Okay, and other people cannot compete with them because, as I said, that it's the economy of the scale. It's not that hey, someone cheated on the chain. We want to protect for the BTC. We have to create for the farm by ourselves to protect for the blockchain. It's difficult because you need a ton of money to do that. Okay, and that's why I want to say, what if you are the miners that you already take over, you already have the chance to become the more than 50% in the mining power. What you can do first, 51 attack is mean that you have the chance that you can prove for the next block every time. Okay, but in the economic for the BTC, I think they are very smart. They want to do that actually because you will drop the values if you create for the double spending in the chain, or you create for the wrong the block in the chain, or you cheated. Okay, it's not good. But they have ability to create for the malicious in the next block. They have ability to change some information. Okay, so I think they can be time by time to owning this data and owning for the right to mint or create for the next block. And there is something that interesting that one day block reward is gonna be reduced to zeros. Okay, one day it's gonna be happen for sure because the BTC right now is the mint from nothing. It's created from nothing and node it generates a new BTC, and they have a limit supply for the BTC as well. So one day the block reward is going to be zeros, and the miners is going to be relighted only for the fee reward. This one, okay, that is come to the question that some miners, they will not have the profit from what they do for the hashing. So they might exit before. Okay, so that is something that I want you guys to keep in mind, that yes, BTC is really right now it's really good token that you can hold as an investment, but there is still some chance, or there is something that that is a risk as well. Okay, that's why they have another consensus call for the proof of stake that's used for the token. Maybe next time I will talk about that. And they have many consensus about that. This one is the topic about the consensus type. That this one is about proof of work, have the proof of stake, proof of authority or something. There is a different benefit and the pro and cons. Yep.